What if the most valuable thing you leave behind is not what you own, but what you give away? Most people spend their lives collecting money, collecting success, collecting recognition. But very few ever ask a different question. When my journey is over, what will remain because I was here? High in the hidden valley of Sivana, the lesson of the roses had just ended. The garden stood silent. The fragrance still lingered in the air. The giant wrestler took a single step forward. And then, something unexpected happened. A layer of ancient dust shifted beneath the earth, and beneath it, a brilliant light burst upward. Julian shielded his eyes. The ground itself seemed to glow. Then the dust cleared. Stretching across the valley was a narrow path unlike anything Julian had ever seen. It was not made of stone. It was not made of earth. The entire pathway was covered with diamonds. Millions of them. But if the path was so valuable, why had it been hidden beneath dirt? And where did it lead? Julian could not look away. A path made of diamonds, millions of them. Master, why would anyone hide something so valuable? The monk did not answer. Instead, he bent down and picked up a handful of dirt. He let it slowly fall through his fingers. Tell me, Julian, which is more important, the diamonds or the dirt that covered them? Julian frowned. The answer seemed obvious, but the monk smiled.
"The diamonds, of course," Julian replied. The answer seemed obvious. The monk nodded. Then he pointed toward a nearby hillside. Wildflowers covered the slope. "Tell me, Julian, what allowed those flowers to grow?" Julian looked carefully. The answer appeared immediately. "The soil," he said. The monk smiled. "And what would happen if I replaced that soil with diamonds?" Julian imagined the hillside. No flowers, no life. And suddenly, the question no longer seemed so simple.
Julian looked back toward the path. Then why bury the diamonds at all? The monk smiled, because people see diamonds, but they rarely see what the diamonds are trying to teach. He pointed toward the path. If the diamonds had always been visible, most travelers would have stopped walking. Julian frowned. They would have spent their lives collecting gems instead of following the path. The valley grew quiet, and Julian began to understand. Let me tell you a story, Julian. Many years ago, a traveler discovered a road covered with treasure. Every few steps, he found gold, jewels, rare gems. At first, he collected only a few. Then, he began collecting everything. His bags grew heavier. His progress grew slower. Soon, he spent more time gathering treasure than walking. And do you know what happened? Julian shook his head. He never reached the end of the road. Julian watched the distant road in silence. At last, he understood the traveler's mistake. The treasure was never the destination. The monk nodded. Exactly. The road existed for a reason. Every road leads somewhere. But when people become obsessed with rewards, they forget why they started walking in the first place. A breeze moved across the valley, and Julian looked at the diamond path differently. Julian followed the path with his eyes. It crossed rivers. It climbed mountains. It disappeared into the distance. Where does it lead? The monk smiled. That is the wrong question. Julian looked confused. Most people always ask where a path ends. Very few ask what the path changes along the way. The wind moved across the valley. The diamonds sparkled beneath the sunlight. And Julian sensed there was still something he could not see.
Look again, Julian. But this time, do not look at the diamonds. Julian followed the path once more, and for the first time, he noticed what surrounded it. The path crossed rivers. Bridges connected distant villages. Farmers used it to transport food. Families traveled safely between communities. Children played beside it. The path had been serving people all along, and Julian had never noticed.
Do you see it now, Julian? Curiously, Julian looked across the valley. He saw the rivers, the bridges, the farms. He saw the villages connected by the path. What do they all have in common? Julian thought carefully. Then the answer appeared. They all help people. The monk smiled. Exactly. Everything of true value serves something beyond itself. And for the first time, the diamonds began to make sense.
Now you are ready to understand the diamonds. The monk placed his hand upon the path. Tell me, Julian, who creates more value? A farmer who feeds one family, or a farmer who feeds an entire village? Julian already knew the answer. The village farmer. The monk nodded. And who receives greater reward? The answer was the same. The more lives you improve, the more valuable you become. And suddenly, Julian understood the diamonds.
The monk touched the diamond path, and the world around Julian disappeared. In its place, he saw a series of lives. One man spent his entire life collecting more money, more possessions, more status. When he was gone, the world remained unchanged. Then Julian saw another life, a teacher, a healer, a builder. They left behind stronger people, healthier communities, brighter futures. And long after they were gone, their impact remained. At last, Julian understood the true measure of a life.
Most people believe they must become successful before they can help others. The monk shook his head. The truth is exactly the opposite. Julian listened carefully. The people who contribute the most eventually become the most valuable. The monk pointed toward the valley. Imagine two lives. One asks every day, "What can I get?" The other asks, "What can I give?" Only one of them leaves the world better than they found it. And Julian knew exactly which one.
The valley grew quiet. For a long moment, neither Julian nor the monk spoke. At last, the monk broke the silence. "You understand now." Julian nodded. "Then your time in Sivana is ending." The words settled heavily in the air. Julian looked across the mountains. "Must I leave?" The monk smiled. "The purpose of wisdom is not to remain hidden. It must travel beyond these mountains." And Julian knew what came next.
The following morning, Julian
prepared to leave. He stood upon the highest ridge in Sivana and looked across everything that had changed his life. The rose garden, the ancient paths, the hidden valleys, the people, the lessons, the memories. None of them would leave him. Far below, the valley awakened beneath the morning sun, and for the first time, Julian no longer felt like a man searching for answers. He had become a man carrying them.
Beyond the mountains, life continued. The city was as busy as ever. People hurried to meetings, chased opportunities, and rushed toward tomorrow. Years ago, Julian would have done the same. But now, he noticed things he once ignored. The tired faces, the quiet struggles, the dreams hidden behind every passing stranger. The world had not changed, but Julian had.
The mountains were behind him, but the journey was not. Every ending creates a beginning. The city stretched endlessly before him, full of challenges, full of opportunities, full of people. And for the first time, Julian no longer searched for a different life. He simply chose to live this one differently. Then he smiled and kept walking.
And so, traveler, our journey through Sivana comes to an end. The garden taught us to master the mind. The lighthouse showed us our purpose. The wrestler taught us growth. The wire taught us discipline. The stopwatch taught us the value of time. The roses revealed the beauty hidden in every moment. And the diamonds showed us that true wealth is found in serving others. These lessons changed Julian's life, but their real purpose is to change ours. The journey through Sivana may be complete, but the journey of becoming your best self never truly ends. For every page that closes, another waits to be opened. And somewhere, another story is already waiting. If you'd like to travel there with me, subscribe. Until then, traveler, keep learning, keep growing, and keep turning the page. I'll be back.